Pilarico por agua, a que puede ser que algún día en el Pilarico caiga. Déjala que vaya y venga al Pilarico por agua. Que no la puedo aguantar, no la puedo aguantar. Se unen unas con otras como la ola en el mar. Ay, mi fatiga son tan grandes que no la puedo aguantar. De la isla Camarón, por el barrio Alba y Cintella, Amadane el mejor.
Que bien saben los flamencos que algún tiempo fue mío. Ay, Dios. tuya, vale, por dulcita mía, que una palabrita tuya, vale, por dulcita mía. Que yo quería ir a la mina de Egipto, que yo quería ir a la mina de Egipto, porque dice que allá había unos pobres ticos gitanos. Y eso que yo vi lo que hacía, y era quitarle a los borriquillos a los castellanos. Ay, que por eso yo me quiero oír a la mina de Egipto. Salsa y yo me returé. Salsa y yo me returé. Ay, la rosa fragante de mí. Recreo, ay, eres la rosa fragante de mí. Recreo, por Dios, llévame a una huerta, por Dios, llévame a una huerta y dame unos paseitos que me estaba yo cayendo muerta, y dame unos paseitos que me estaba yo cayendo muerta. Vente conmigo, dile a tu madre que soy tu primo, dile a tu madre que soy tu primo. Hey.
Welcome everybody. I'm Lorca Kishnani from ICS Theatre. Thank you for joining us for the production of Federico Garcia Lorca's The House of Bernarda Alba. The director, Dr. Farley Richmond, is Professor of Theatre and Film Studies at the University of Georgia, Athens. He has directed several plays for ICS Theatre since its inception. I'm privileged to be the Associate Director for this production under his tutelage. We hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy. We at ICS Theatre are excited to be able to continue to practice our craft online. Through this pandemic lockdown, ICST has been keeping very busy with online play reading workshops for the community. These workshops are being conducted by directors in the US, along with directors abroad, and have been quite a success. We thank Dr. Farley Richmond and Mr. Mahesh Dattani for their continued support. In ICS Theatre's 6th year of existence, we were looking forward to putting on productions at the ICS Theatre Fest for our audiences, but for now, online productions will have to do. Instead of having one day of programming, ICS Theatre will be an ongoing event through the end of 2020. The second annual ICS Theatre Fest started on Friday, June 12th, with an award presentation for the Emerging Artist Playwriting Contest, a collaboration that was started in 2019 with the East Brunswick Public Schools. Our fest continued with our second event on June 28th, an ICS Theatre in-house production of Anton Chekhov's The Seduction. Today, we are featuring ICS Theatre's third event, ICS Theatre Fest's third event, Lorca's The House of Bernarda Alba. I must say, it has not been an easy task to rehearse online with a cast of 10. Kudos to the ladies who have put in the time and effort to make this possible. The cast of this play is a mixed bunch, from experienced actors to some that are setting foot in the world of theatre for the very first time today. We at ICST applaud all of them and wholeheartedly welcome and support the brave new ones. For the best viewing experience, please watch the play on either a computer or an iPad. In the coming months, we plan to bring you a variety of plays in English and in Hindi. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who has helped to put today's program together, the actors, the crew, the publicity team, and most of all you, our audience, without whose support we wouldn't be here. Grant funding has been provided by the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders through a grant award from the Middlesex County Cultural and Arts Trust Fund. We will have a Q&A session right after and encourage you to participate. We would love to hear your comments and questions, so please do stay back a few minutes for that. Also, please do follow us on Facebook on our ICS Theatre page. Federico Garcia Lorca's The House of Bernarda Alba is a drama that explores themes of sexual repression, inheritance, and violence among 3 generations of women in rural Spain in the 1930s. Their search for independence, the consequences of confinement, and the tensions created by envy lead to an explosion of passion, jealousy, hatred, and despair. Now, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy Federico Garcia Lorca's The House of Bernarda Alba.
The sound of those bells hits me right between my eyes.
They've been mumbling away for over 2 hours. The church looks beautiful. When they sang the first response for the dead, Magdalena fainted.
She's the one left most alone.
She's the only one her father loved.
If Bernarda sees you eating, she's going to...
Since she's not eating today, she would like us all to die of starvation. The old tyrant. Well, I'll fool her. I came back to get a jar of sausages.
Poncia, can I get some for my little girl?
Sure. Help yourself. And take a fistful of beans while you're at it. Do you ever notice the difference today?
Bernarda!
Is the old lady still locked in?
Double locked. I put the bar down. She can pick a lock.
Bernarda!
She is coming. Make sure everything's spotless. If Bernarda doesn't see it shine, she'll pull whatever the hair is left on my head.
That woman.
Tyrant over everyone around her. She's capable of sitting on your heart and watching you die for a whole year without taking that cold smile off her wicked face. Scrub those floors.
My hands are bloody from all the scrubbing.
Oh, she's the cleanest, the most decent. She's superior to us all. Her poor husband, and a good rest. Do you know? No one's been to this house since her father died. She's mean.
With you, she behaves well.
30 years washing her sheets, 30 years eating her leftovers, nights watching over her when she had a cough, whole days peeking through a crack in the shutters to spy on her neighbors and tell her the tale. Life without secrets, one from the other. Curse her. May the nails of the cross pierce both her eyes.
Poncia!
Don't worry, I'm a good dog. I bark when I'm told to, and I bite the beggar's heels when she sicks me on them. My boys may work in her fields. The day will come when I have had enough.
And then?
And then I'll lock myself in a room with her and spit in her face for a whole year. Here's for this, Bernarda, and here's for that, and here's for the other. Till I leave her like a lizard my boys have squashed, because that's what she is, her and her entire family. Not that I envy her life. Stuck with 5 girls, 5 ugly daughters, all of them poor. Except the eldest, Angustias. By the first husband, she's got some money, but the rest, bread and grapes is all they'll inherit.
I'd like to have what they've got.
This glass has some spots on it.
Nothing will clean off. Nothing will clean it off.
Oh, the last prayer for the dead. I'm going over to this, there's nobody like the old sacristan trunk of Venus. At my mother's mass, God rest her soul, the walls shook. And when he sang the amen, it was like a wolf had come into the church. Amen!
Watch out, you'll pulverize your throat.
I would rather pulverize something else.
Dong, dong, dong. May God forgive you. Dong, dong, dong. May you wait many years for me. Yes, ring away. Let them lift you in a silk-lined coffin with gold handles. You are no less dead than I will be. To hell with you, Antonio Maria Benavides, lying there stiff in your silk clothes and gold boots. Take what's coming to you. You won't be lifting my skirts anymore behind the barn door. Bernarda! Hey, Antonio Maria Benavides! You will never see these walls. You will never break bread under this roof again. I was the one who loved you most of all who served you. Must I go on living while you're gone? After you're gone, must I go on living? Bernarda!
Less wailing. We shall have all this life.
Get up. Belong here. The poor are like animals. They're made of different stuff.
The poor feel their sorrow too.
But they forget them soon enough over a plate of beans. Magdalena, don't cry. If you want to cry, go do it under your bed. Did you hear me?
I haven't felt heat like this in years.
Is the lemonade ready?
Yes, Bernarda.
Give the men some.
They're already drinking in the yard.
Let them out the way they came. I don't want them tracking through here.
Pepe El Romano was with the men during the Mas Angustias?
Yes, he was there.
His mother was there. She saw his mother. Neither she nor I saw Pepe. Women in church must not look at a man unless it is the priest, and only then because he's wearing a skirt. If you turn your head, it means you're itching for the touch of corduroy. Blessed be God.
Bless him and praise him forever.
Rest in peace with the souls of the departed watching over you.
Rest in peace.
With Archangel Michael and his sword of justice.
Rest in peace.
With the key that opens and the hand that locks.
Rest in peace.
With the most blessed saints and the little lights of the field.
Rest in peace.
With your holy charity and all souls on land and on sea.
Rest in peace.
Grant rest to your servant Antonio Maria Benavides and crown him with your sacred glory.
Amen.
Requiem aeternam dona ies Domini.
Et lux perpetua luciete.
From the men, money for the Mass.
Thank them and give them some brandy. I hope it will be many years before anyone should pass through my door.
You've got nothing to complain about. The whole village came.
Yes, to fill my house with the sweat from their underclothes and the poison of their tongues.
Mother, don't talk like that.
What other way can I talk about this damned village? A village without a river, a village full of wells. So every time you drink the water, you're afraid it's been poisoned. Give me a fan, child.
Take this one.
Is that a fan you give a widow? Give me a black one and learn to respect your father's memory.
Take mine.
What about you?
I'm not hot.
Well, look for another one. You'll need it. For the 8 years we'll be in mourning, not even the wind from the street will enter this house. That's how it was in my father's house and in my grandfather's house. Pretend we've bricked up all the doors and windows. In the meantime, you'll start sewing your trousseaux. There are 20 bolts of linen in the chest from which to cut sheets and coverlets. Magdalena can embroider them.
It makes no difference to me.
If you don't want to embroider ours, yours will be better.
Neither mine nor yours. I know I'm never going to get married. I'd rather carry sacks to the mill. Anything. Rather than sit in these gloomy rooms day after day.
That's what a woman does.
Damn women.
In this house, you'll do as I tell you. You can't run telling tales to your father now. Needle and thread for the woman, whip and mule for the man. That's how it is for people born to certain obligations.
Let me out, Bernarda!
Let her out now.
I could barely hold her down. She may be 80 years old, but your mother's as strong as an oak tree.
It runs in the family. My grandmother was the same.
Several times during the wake, I had to put a sack in her mouth. She wanted to shout out to you to give her some dishwater to drink and some dog meat. That's what she says you feed her.
She's wicked.
Let her get some fresh air in the yard.
She took all her rings out of her trunk, her amethyst earrings, put them on, and told me she wants to get married.
Stay with her. Be careful she doesn't go near the well.
You don't have to worry, she'll throw herself in.
I don't. That's where the neighbors will see her from the window.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go rest a while.
Okay. And Angustias?
I saw her peering through the crack in the back door. The men have just left.
What were you doing at the back door?
I went to see if the hens had laid.
But the men had already left.
A group of them was still standing around outside.
Angustias! Angustias!
Do you want something?
What, or rather at whom were you looking at?
Nobody.
Do you think it's decent for a woman of your class to throw herself at a man on the day of her father's funeral? Answer me. Who were you looking at? You!
Nobody.
You spineless, sickening slut! Bernarda!
Bernarda!
Get out. All of you. She didn't realize what she was doing. Of course, I was shocked to see her sneaking off to the back door. And later she stood at the window, listening to the men's conversation. As usual, it wasn't the kind of conversation one should listen to. That is why they come to funerals. What were they talking about? About Paca la Rosetta. Last night, they tied her husband in a stall, threw her over the back of a horse, and carried her up to the highest part of the olive grove. So what did she do? She was willing. They say she was showing her breasts, and Maximiliano played her like a guitar. It was terrible. Then what happened? What had to happen? They came back almost at dawn. Paca la Rosetta had her hair loose, a crown of flowers on her head. I tell you, she's the only bad woman we have in this village. Because she's not from here. And the men who were with her are the sons of outsiders too. The men from here are not capable of that. But they like to watch, talk about it, suck their fingers over it. They were saying other things too. Such as? Oh, I'm embarrassed to say. And Angustias heard them? Of course. That one takes after her aunts, all innocent and flirtatious, making big sheep's eyes at the first nobody who pays her a compliment. Oh, what you have to put up with, the fight you have to wage to make them behave decently and not run out wild. Bernarda, it's just that your girls are at an age when they should have husbands. They don't give you any trouble. Angustias, she must be well over 30 by now. She's 39 to be precise. Imagine. And she's never had a sweetheart. No, none of them have ever had a sweetheart. And they don't miss them. They get along just fine. I didn't mean to offend you. There is no one good enough to come near them for 100 miles. The men in this town are not of their class. Do you want me to turn them over to the first farmhand I see? You should have moved to another town. Oh, I see.
To sell them.
No, Bernarda, change. Of course, in any other place, they would be the poor ones.
Oh, please stop tormenting me.
No one can talk to you. Do we or do we not confide in each other?
We do not. You serve me, I pay you. Nothing more.
Don Arturo is here. He has come to see about the will.
Let's go. You start sweeping out the yard. And Poncia, you start putting the dead man's clothes away in the big chest.
We could give some things away.
Nothing. Not even a button. Not even the handkerchief we covered his face with.
You take your medicine?
For all the good it'll do me.
But you took it.
I do things without believing in them, but like clockwork.
Since the new doctor came, you're much livelier.
I feel the same.
Did you notice Adelaida wasn't at the funeral?
I know. Her fiancé won't let her go out, not even to the front door. She used to be happy, but now she doesn't even powder her face.
These days, you don't know if it's better to have a fiancé or not.
It doesn't matter.
It's the fault of that harpy who won't let us live. Adelaida is going to have a terrible time.
Do you know how afraid she is of Mother?
What?
Because Mother's the only one who knows how her father got his land.
What do you mean?
Adelaida's father killed his first wife's husband so he could marry her himself.
My God.
And then he left her and went off with another woman who had a daughter. And later he had an affair with the daughter.
Adelaida's mother.
Yes. And then married her after the second wife died insane.
Why isn't a man like that put in jail?
Because men help each other and look out for each other, so no one is able to tell on them.
But none of this is Adelaida's fault.
No, but history repeats itself. It's better never to look at a man. I've been afraid of them since I was a little girl. I used to watch them in the corral, yoking the bullocks, lifting the sacks of grain with their loud voices and heavy boots. And always I was afraid of growing older for fear that I would suddenly find myself in their arms. God made me weak and ugly and kept them away from me.
You can't say that. Enrique Humanes was after you, and you liked him.
That's only what people thought. One time, I stood in my nightgown at my window until daybreak because he sent the field hand's little girl to say that he would come. And he didn't come. It was all talk. And then he married someone else with more than me.
And ugly as the day is long.
What do men care about ugliness? All they want is land and yokes of oxen and a submissive bitch who will give them something to eat.
What are you doing?
Sitting here.
What about you?
I have been going through the rooms for the exercise and to look at the needlepoint pictures grandmother made. The little woolly dog, the black man wrestling the lion. We liked them so much when we were children. It was a happier time. A wedding lasted 10 days. And vicious tongues weren't in style. Today, it's more proper. Brides wear white veils, just like in the cities. And we drink wine from the bottles. But we are rotting away inside these walls because we are afraid of what people might say.
Your shoelace is untied.
What of it?
You trip on it and fall.
Well, that will be one less.
Where's Adela?
She put on the red dress she made to wear for her birthday and went out into the yard, shouting, "Chickens, chickens, look at me." I had to laugh.
If Mother had seen her.
Poor thing. Because she's the youngest, she still has dreams. I'd give anything to see her happy.
What time is it?
Well, it must be 12.
That late?
It's about to strike.
Oh, God.
Do you know about it yet?
No.
Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You both know better than I. Always with your heads together like two little sheep, not letting anyone in on things. About Pepe El Romano.
Huh.
Ha! The whole village is talking about it. Pepe El Romano is going to marry Angustias. He was looking around the house last night. I think he's going to send a declaration soon.
I'm glad. He's a good man.
So am I. Angustias has good qualities.
Neither one of you is glad.
Magdalena, please.
If he were coming because of her looks, for Angustias as a woman, I'd be glad. But he's coming for her money. Even though Angustias is our sister, we are her family, and we all know that she is old and sick and has always been the least attractive one of us all. If she looked like a scarecrow when she was 20, what does she look like now? She's nearly 40.
Don't talk like that. Good fortune comes to the one who least expects it.
But Magdalena's right. Angustias has all her own father's money. She's the only rich one in the house. And that's why now that our father is dead and all his money is going to be divided, they are coming after her.
Pepe El Romano is 25 and the best looking man in the village. The natural thing would be for him to go after you, Amelia, or Adela, who is 20, not the least likely person in the house, a woman who, just like her father, talks through her nose.
Maybe he likes it.
I have never been able to stomach your hypocrisy.
Oh, God.
La la la, la la la, la la la.
Did the chicken see your dress?
What do you want me to do?
If mother sees you, she'll tear your hair out.
I had such hopes for this dress. I was going to wear it when we went to eat melons by the water wheel. There wouldn't have been another one like this.
It's a lovely dress.
And it looks good on me. It's the best Magdalena's ever cut.
And the chickens, what did they say to you?
They presented me with a few fleas that bit my legs.
The best thing you can do is give it to Angustias for her wedding to Pepe El Romano.
But Pepe El Romano?
Haven't you heard?
No.
Well, now you know.
But that's not possible.
Money makes anything possible.
Is that why she went out after the wake? Why she was standing at the door? And that man could be capable of?
Anything.
What are you thinking, Adela?
I'm thinking this period of mourning has caught me at the worst possible time.
You'll get used to it.
No, I'm not going to get used to it. I can't stay locked up. I don't want to shrivel up like you. I don't want to lose the whiteness of my skin in these rooms. Tomorrow, I'm going to put on my red dress and go walking on the street. I want to go out.
Adela!
Poor thing. She misses her father.
Quiet.
What happens to one of us happens to all of us.
The maid almost heard you.
Pepe El Romano is coming down the street.
Oh, let's go see him.
Not going?
It makes no difference to me.
He has to come around the corner. You can see best from the window in your room.
Curse this parceling out.
There's a lot of money for Angustias.
Yes.
And a whole lot less for the others.
You've said that to me 3 times when you know I do not want it even mentioned, much less a whole lot less. Don't remind me of it ever again. Angustias,
Mother,
you dare paint your face on the day of your father's funeral?
he was not my father. My father died a long time ago. Have you forgotten?
You owe more to this man, to your sister's father, than to your own. Thanks to him, your fortune is increased.
We'll have to see about that.
Oh, out of decency, to show respect.
Let me go out, Mother.
Go out?
Bernarda!
After you've taken this paint off the powder of your face. You weakling, you sickening slut!
Bernarda, let me out!
Exactly like your aunts.
Bernarda, don't be such a tyrant.
My mother may be crazy, but I still have my wits about me, and I know exactly what I'm doing.
What's going on?
Nothing is going on.
Well, if you're arguing about the will, you're the richest. You can keep it all.
Keep your tongue where it belongs, in your purse.
Do not think you can get the better of me. Until I am carried out of this house feet first, I will give orders around here for all of us.
Bernarda! Let me out! Bernarda, where is my mantilla? Nothing I own will go to any of you. Not my rings, not my black moire dress, nothing, because none of you will ever get married. Not one of you. Bernarda, give me back my pearl necklace.
Why did you let her in here?
She got away from me.
Yes, I got away because I want to get married. I want to find me a real man by the shores of the sea, because the men here all run away from women.
Silence, mother.
No, I will not be silent. I don't want to look at the faces of these old maids burning to be married, turning their hearts into dust. I want to find me a man so I can get married to and be happy with.
Just lock her up.
Let me go out, Bernarda.
Help her, all of you. Help her.
Bernarda, I want to get away from here. Bernarda, I want to go to the shores of the sea. Down by the shores of the sea. Down by the shores of the sea. Bernarda, let me go.
I cut the third sheet.
That one goes to Amelia.
Angustias, should I put Pepe's initials on that one too?
No.
Adela, aren't you coming?
She's probably stretched out on her bed.
There's something wrong with that one. She's restless, shaky, and she looks frightened, as if she had a lizard between her breasts.
There's nothing more or less wrong with her than there is with the rest of us.
All except Angustias.
I feel fine, and anyone who doesn't like it can drop dead.
Let's admit it. Your best features are your figure and your tact.
Fortunately, I will soon be out of this hell.
Maybe you won't get out.
Stop it.
Anyway, better to have gold in your purse and beautiful eyes in your face.
This is going in one ear and out the other.
I wish there was a breath of fresh air.
Last night I couldn't sleep because of the heat.
Me either.
I got up to cool off. There was a dark storm cloud and a few drops of rain fell.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, the heat was rising up off the ground. I got up too. Angustias was still with Pepe at the window.
So late? What time did he go?
Magdalena, why ask if you saw him?
He left about 1:30.
Yes, and how would you know?
I heard him cough and the sound of his horse's hoofs.
But
It wasn't him.
I felt he left about 4. And it
wasn't
sure
him.
was him. It sure was him.
It seemed that way to me too.
Well, that's strange.
Angustias, come here. Tell us, what did Pepe say to you the first time he came to the window?
Nothing. What should he have said? Just conversation.
It's very strange for two people who don't know each other to suddenly meet at the window and get engaged.
Well, I didn't find it strange.
I would have felt a little, I don't know.
No, because when a man comes to the window, he already knows from people coming and going and coming that she will say yes.
But he had to say it to you.
Well, of course.
And how did he say it?
Well, it was nothing. Just, I'm after you. I need a good woman, modest, and that's you if you're in agreement.
Those things embarrass me.
Me too, but you have to go through with them.
Did he say anything else?
Yes, he was the one who did all the talking.
And you?
I couldn't have. I felt as if my heart was coming out of my mouth. It was the first time I've ever been alone at night with a man.
And such a handsome one at that.
He's not bad.
It's easier for people who have had a little experience, who have been taught how to speak and know what to say. When my husband, Everest the Birdman, first came to my window.
What happened?
It was very dark. I saw him coming closer. And when he arrived, he said to me, "Good evening." "Good evening," I said to him. And we didn't speak for more than half an hour. The sweat was running down my entire body. And then Everest took him closer and closer, as if he was trying to squeeze through the bars, and said in a very low voice, "Come here. I want to feel you."
Oi, I thought mother was coming.
What she would have done to us.
And then after, he behaved himself. Instead of going to someone else, he started breeding canaries until he died. All of you are single, but you may as well know that 15 days after the wedding, the man leaves the bed for the table and then the table for the tavern. And any woman who doesn't accept this rots away crying in a corner.
But you didn't accept it.
I could handle him.
Is it true you hit him sometimes?
I did. Once I nearly put out one of his eyes.
That's how women should be.
I'm from the same school as your mother. One day, he said something or the other to me, I can't remember what. And I killed all his canaries with a hammer.
Oh, Adela, you shouldn't miss this.
Adela!
I'm going to go see.
Child is sick.
Of course she is. She hardly sleeps.
What does she do?
How would I know what she does?
You'd know better than me, since you sleep with just a wall between you.
Envy is eating her up.
Don't exaggerate.
I can see it in her eyes. She's starting to look like a mad woman.
Don't talk about mad women here. This is the one place you shouldn't talk about something like that.
Didn't you say she was asleep?
My whole body aches.
Didn't you sleep well last night?
Yes.
Well, then.
Leave me alone. Asleep or awake is none of your business. It's my body, and I'll do what I want with it.
I was concerned about you.
Huh. Concerned or nosy? Weren't you sewing? Well, continue. I wish I was invisible so I could pass through a room without people asking me where I'm going all the time.
Bernarda is calling for you. The man with the lace is here.
Stop looking at me. If you want, I'll give you my eyes. They're brighter than yours. And my straight back to replace your hump. Just turn the other way when I go by.
Adela, she's your sister and the one who loves you the most.
She follows me everywhere. Sneaks upon me sometimes to see if I'm sleeping. Just won't let me breathe. And always, what a shame about the face. What a shame about the body. It won't belong to anyone. But that's not going to happen. My body will belong to whoever I want.
To Pepe El Romano, is that right?
What did you say?
You heard me, Adela.
I wish you were blind.
Do you think I haven't noticed?
Lower your voice.
Kill those thoughts.
What do you know about them?
The old women can see through walls. Where do you go when you get up at night?
I wish you were blind.
When it's about what this is about, my head and both my hands are full of eyes. I want to know what you're planning. Why did you stand half naked at the window with the light on the second night Pepe came to talk to your sister?
That's not true.
Don't be a child. Leave your sister in peace. If you love Pepe El Romano, hold it in. Besides, who says you can't marry him? Your sister Angustias is sickly. She won't survive her first birth. She's narrow in the hips, old, and in my experience, I can tell you she will die. And then Pepe will do what many widowers around here do. He'll marry the youngest and the prettiest, and that's you. Feed that hope, or forget about him, whatever you want, but don't go against the law of God.
Shut your mouth.
I will not shut my mouth.
Instead of cleaning the house and going to bed to pray for your dead, you root around like an old sow, drooling over other people's affairs.
I keep watch so people won't spit when they pass our door.
And why have you suddenly developed this great affection for my sister?
Affection? I feel no affection for any of you. But I want to live in a decent house. I don't want to be disgraced in my old age.
Your advice is useless. It's too late. I wouldn't just walk over you. You're only a servant. I'd walk over my mother to put out the fire that's running through my legs and burning in my mouth. What could you say about me? That I lock myself in my room and don't open the door? That I don't sleep? I'm quicker than you are. See if you can catch this rabbit with your bare hands.
Don't defy me, Adela. Don't you defy me. Because I can shout, light the lamps, and make the bells ring.
Or you can light 4,000 yellow flares on the walls of this house. No one can stop what has to happen.
You want that man so much?
So much. When I look into his eyes, it's like I'm slowly drinking his blood.
Ah, I can't hear that.
Oh, but you'll have to. I used to be afraid of you, but I'm stronger than you now.
Always arguing.
Of course. She wants me in all this heat to go and get her, I don't know what, from the store.
Did you get me that perfume?
Sure, the most expensive one. And the face powder too. I put them on the table in your room.
Did you see the lace?
The pieces for Angustia's wedding sheets are beautiful.
And these?
Mine, for a nightgown.
Well, it takes a sense of humor.
For me to look at. I don't have to flaunt myself in front of anyone.
Nobody sees you in a nightgown.
Sometimes. But I love underclothes. If I was rich, I'd have it all made from Dutch linen, all imported from Holland. It's one of the few pleasures I've got.
This lace would be nice for babies' caps and christening gowns. I couldn't afford it for mine, but maybe Angustias will use it for hers. And when she starts having babies, you all will be sewing morning and night.
I don't plan to sew a stitch.
Much less take care of someone else's children. Look at how our neighbors sacrifice themselves for those poor little brats.
They're better off than you. At least they laugh and you can hear them fighting.
Go and work for them.
No, fate has sent me to this convent.
I think the men must be going back to work.
It's 3 o'clock.
In this heat.
I wish we could go to the fields too.
Each class has its own work.
That's how it is.
There's nothing like being in the fields this time of the year. The reapers arrived yesterday morning. 40 or 50 handsome young men.
Where are they from this year?
From far, far away from the mountains, happy like poplar trees, shouting and throwing stones. Last night, a woman arrived dressed in spangles and danced to an accordion. 15 of them paid her to go to the olive grove with them. I watched from far off. The one who made the deal was a young man with green eyes, hard and tightly packed as a sheaf of wheat.
Really?
It's possible.
A few years ago, another of these women came to the village and I gave my oldest son the money myself so he could go with her. Men need these things.
They're forgiven everything.
To be born a woman is the worst punishment.
Not even our eyes belong to us.
Come, let's go watch the men from the window in my room.
Be careful not to open the shutters too wide. They like to give them a push to see who's looking.
What's wrong with you?
The heat is making me sick.
Is that all?
I wish November would come. The rainy days, the frost, anything but this endless summer.
The summer will pass and it will come again.
Well, of course. What time did you sleep last night?
I don't know. I sleep like a log. Why?
Nothing, but I thought I heard someone in the corral.
Oh.
Very late.
And you weren't scared?
No, I've heard it other nights.
We should be careful. Couldn't it have been the farmhands?
The farmhands come at 6.
Maybe a young unbroken mule?
Yes, that's it. A young unbroken mule.
We should all keep watch.
No, don't say anything. Maybe I imagined it.
Maybe.
Amelia?
What?
Nothing.
Why did you call me?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking.
Go and lie down for a while.
Where is the picture of Pepe I had in my room? Which one of you took it?
No one.
It's not like he's Saint Bartholomew.
Where is the picture?
What picture?
The picture of Pepe. One of you has hidden it from me.
You have the audacity to say that?
It was in my room and it's not there now.
Couldn't it have slipped out into the corral in the middle of the night? Pepe likes to walk in the moonlight.
Play games with me. When he comes, I'll tell him.
No, don't do that. It will turn up.
I'd like to know which one of you has the picture.
Well, somebody. Everybody does, but not me.
Naturally, never you.
What is the commotion in my house in the middle of the day? The neighbors will have their ears glued to the walls.
They've taken the picture of my fiancé.
Who? Who?
Them.
Which of you? Answer me. Poncia, search their rooms. Look in their beds. This comes from giving you all too long a leash, but I'll haunt your dreams. Angustias, are you sure?
Yes.
You looked carefully?
Yes, mother.
At the end of my life, you all forced me to drink the most bitter poison a mother can bear. Poncia, you didn't find it?
Here it is.
Where was it?
It was
Say it. Don't be afraid to say it.
In between the sheets of Martirio's bed.
Is this true?
It's true.
Oh, I'd like to squash you like an insect under my foot, you snake in the grass.
Don't you hit me, mother!
I will hit you all I want.
If I let you, you hear me?
Don't
Get
be
away from me.
disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful to your mother.
Leave her alone, please, mother.
Not even a tear.
I'm not going to cry to please you.
Why did you take the picture?
Can't I play a joke on my own sister? Why else would I want it?
It wasn't a joke. You never liked playing games. It was something else bursting to come out. Say it.
You be quiet. And don't you make me speak, for if I do, the walls will fold in on each other for shame.
A wicked tongue never stops inventing lies.
Adela.
You are both mad.
And you torture us with your shameful thoughts.
Some people do shameful things.
Until they strip naked and the river sweeps them away.
Oh, you're perverse.
It's not my fault that Pepe El Romano chose me.
For your money.
Mother,
For your fields and your orchards.
Silence.
It's the truth.
Silence, I said. I could see the storm brewing, but I didn't think it would break so soon. Oh, you all have laid a heavy stone of hatred on my heart, but I'm not old yet, and I'll chain up the all 5 of you in this house my father built, so not even the weeds in the yard will know of my anguish. Get out, all of you. Oh, use a firm hand, Bernarda. Remember, you have obligations.
May I speak?
Speak. I'm sorry you heard that. It's never wise for an outsider in the family.
What I've seen, I've seen.
Angustias must get married right away.
Of course, we'll have to get her away from here.
Not her, him.
Of course, he's the one to get away from here. Good thinking.
I don't think. There are things one cannot and should not think. I give orders.
Do you think he'll want to go away?
What do you mean?
I mean, he'll of course be marrying Angustias.
No. Speak up. I know you well enough to know when you've got your knife out for me.
I never knew a warning could be called murder.
Oh, so you now have a warning for me.
Bernarda, I'm not making accusations. I'm just saying, open your eyes and you'll see.
See what?
You've always been smart. You can spot the worst in other people from 100 miles away. Sometimes I think you can read their thoughts. But once children are once children. Now you're being blind.
Are you talking about Martirio?
All right, Martirio. I wonder why she took that picture.
She says it was a joke. What else could it be?
Do you really believe that?
Yes.
All right, we're talking about your own. But what if we were talking about the neighbors from across the way?
Oh, now you're starting to sharpen the knife.
Bernarda, something very wrong is going on here. I don't want to put the blame on you, but you've never given your daughters any freedom. Martirio is sick, fellow. I don't care what you say. Why didn't you let her marry Enrique Humanes? Why on the day he was to come to her window, why did you send him word not to come?
And I'd do it 1,000 times over. My blood will not mix with the blood of the Humaneses as long as I live.
Look what's come of putting on airs.
I put on airs because I can afford to. And you cannot, because you know where you come from.
Don't remind me. I'm an old woman and I have always been grateful for your protection.
No, you don't show it.
Martirio will forget about this.
And if she doesn't forget, so much the worse for her. I don't think something very wrong is going on here. That's what you'd like to believe. And if one day something should happen, you can be sure it won't get beyond these walls.
No, I wouldn't be too sure of that. There are other people in this village who can read thoughts at a distance.
Oh, how you would love to see me and my daughters on our way to the whorehouse.
No one knows their own end.
I know mine, and I know my daughters. The whorehouse was for a certain woman born to certain...
Bernarda, respect the memory of my mother.
Then stop plaguing me with your wicked thoughts.
Better if I stay out of everything.
That's right. Work. Keep your mouth shut. The duty for all who work for hire.
I can't do that. Don't you think it would be better if Pepe were married to Martirio or, yes, to Adela?
No, I don't think.
Adela. Now there's the true bride for El Romano.
Things are never the way we'd like them to be.
No, but it's hard work turning them from on their true course. Pepe to be with Angustias seems wrong to me, and to other people as well, and even to the wind. Who can tell if things will turn out as they should?
Here you go again, sneaking up on me. My daughters respect me, and they have never gone against my will.
That's right. But the minute they break free, they'll climb to the rooftops.
And then I'll throw stones at them to bring them down.
You're always the bravest.
I've always enjoyed a good fight.
Isn't it strange? You should see the fever Angustias is in over her lover at her age. And it seems he's smitten too. Yesterday, my oldest son told me that when he passed by with the oxen at 4:30 in the morning, they were still there talking at the window.
At 4:30?
That's a lie.
That's what he told me.
Angustias, talk.
For over a week, Pepe has been leaving at 1 o'clock. May God strike me dead if I'm lying.
I heard him leave at 4 too.
Did you see him with your own eyes?
I didn't want to be seen. Don't you speak to him at your side window now?
We talk at my bedroom window.
Then?
What is going on in this house?
Careful, or you'll find out. All I know is that Pepe was at one of your windows at 4:30 in the morning.
Are you sure?
Sure. You can't be sure of anything in this life.
Mother, don't listen to her. She wants to ruin us all.
I know how to find out. If people in this town want to spread lies about me, they'll find out they've run into a stone wall. No one is to talk about this, or waves of filth could drown us all.
I don't like to lie.
Then something is going to happen.
Nothing is going to happen. I was born to keep my eyes open, and I won't shut them now until the day I die.
I have the right to know.
Oh, you have the right to know nothing except to do what I tell you. No one tells me what I can or cannot do. Poncia, you put your own house in order. Nothing happens here without my knowing about it.
There is a big crowd at the top of the street, and all the neighbors are at their doors.
Poncia, you run and see what's going on. Where do you think you girls are going? You women, staring at doorways, breaking your mourning. Go to your room. All of you.
You're lucky I didn't open my mouth.
I could have said something too.
What could you have said? You won't go on like this much longer.
I'll have it all.
I'll tear you out of his arms.
Martirio, leave me alone.
None of us will have him.
He wants to live with me.
I saw how he was holding you.
I didn't want any of this. It's as if I'm being dragged by a rope.
I'll see you dead first.
Bernarda! Bernarda!
Oh, what? What's going on?
It's Librada's daughter, the unmarried one, had a baby and nobody knows whose it is.
A baby?
Yes, and to hide her shame, she killed it and buried it under the rocks. But some dogs dug it up and left it at her door. Now they want to kill her. They're dragging her through the streets.
Good. Let them come. Let them bring olive switches and pick handles. Let them come and kill her.
No, not kill her.
Yes, let us go out there too.
Any woman who tramples on her decency must pay for it.
Let her escape. Don't go out there.
Pay what she owes.
Finish her off before the police get here. Fiery coals in the place where she sinned.
No.
Kill her.
No.
Kill her. Kill her.
Kill
Kill her.
Kill
Kill her.
Kill her. Kill her.
I'm going, Bernarda. It's been a long visit.
Wait, Prudentia. We never see each other.
Have they sounded the last bell for the rosary?
Not yet.
And your husband, how is he?
The same.
We never see him either.
You know how he is. Ever since he fought his brothers over the inheritance, he won't use the front door. He puts up a ladder and climbs over the back wall.
A real man. And your daughter?
He's never forgiven her.
He's right.
I don't know about that.
A daughter who disobeys stops being a daughter and becomes an enemy.
I let water run. What was that?
Oh, the stallion. He's tied in his stall and he's kicking against the wall. Tether him and take him out in the yard. Ay, he must be too hot.
I'm going to put him to the new mares.
At daylight.
You've known how to increase your stock.
Through a lot of money and hard work.
She has the best herd in this part of the country. Too bad the prices are down.
Do you want some cheese or some honey, Prudentia?
I have no appetite. Oh, for God's sake. I felt it right through my chest.
Do I have to say everything twice? Let him out to roll in the straw. Tether the mares in the corral, but let him run free or he'll kick the walls down. Oh, what a life.
You ought to fight like a man.
That's it. Where are you going?
For a drink of water.
Bring a pitcher of fresh water, Poncia. You sit down.
And Angustias, when will she be married?
They come to ask for her in 3 days.
You must be happy.
Angustias.
Of course.
Oh,
You spilled the salt.
you can't have worse luck than you're already having.
It's always a bad sign.
Oh, that's enough.
Angustias, has he given you the ring yet?
See?
It's beautiful. In my days, pearls meant tears.
Well, things have changed.
Things don't change their meaning. Engagement rings should be diamonds.
The most appropriate.
With or without pearls, life is what you make of it.
Or what God makes for you.
I've been told your furniture is beautiful.
It ought to be. I spent 16,000 reals.
Oh, what's important is everything is for the best.
You never know.
There is no reason why it shouldn't be.
The last bell. Angustias, I'll come back soon and you can show me the dress.
Whenever you like.
Good night. God be with you.
Goodbye, Prudentia.
God be with you.
Well, be beaten. That's done.
I'm going to go to the front gate and stretch my legs.
I'll go with you.
Me too.
I won't get lost.
You should have company at night.
Angustias, I told you once already. I want you to speak with your sister, Martirio. What happened with the picture was a joke and you should forget about it.
You know, she hates me.
Each of us knows what we think inside. I don't pry into people's hearts, but I do insist you keep up appearances and we have peace in this family. Understood?
Yes.
Then that's settled.
Anyway, you're going to be leaving soon.
Not soon enough for me.
What time did you finish talking to Pepe last night?
At 12:30.
And what does he talk about?
He's distracted. He always talks to me as if he's thinking of something else. When I ask him what's wrong, he says we men have our worries.
Then don't ask him, especially once you're married. Speak if he speaks, look at him if he looks at you. That way you get along.
Mother, I think he's hiding a lot of things from me.
Don't try and find out what they are. Don't ask him. And above all, never let him see you cry.
I should be happy and I'm not.
It's all the same.
Some nights when I stare at him through the window bars, he seems to fade away, like he's being covered by a cloud of dust kicked up by the sheep.
It's because you're not strong.
I hope it's that.
Is he coming tonight?
No, he went to the city with his mother.
Then we'll get to bed early tonight. Magdalena.
She's asleep.
It's such a dark night.
Yes, you can't see 2 steps in front of you.
A good night for thieves or anybody who needs to hide.
The stallion was in the middle of the corral, white, looking twice as big as usual. He filled up the darkness.
Looked like a ghost.
There were stars in the sky as big as fists.
And this one was staring at them until she almost broke her neck.
Don't you like them?
I don't care what goes on above the rooftops. I have enough to handle with what goes on down here.
Well, that's the way it is for you.
It's the same for you as it is for her.
Good night.
Are you going to bed now?
Yes, Pepe isn't coming tonight.
Mother, why do people cross themselves every time there is a shooting star or a flash of lightning?
Oh, the old people know lots of things we've forgotten.
I close my eyes so I won't see them.
Not me. I like to see what's been quiet for years and years suddenly shoot fire.
All that has nothing to do with us.
Best not to think about them.
Oh, what a beautiful night. I wish I could stay up and enjoy the cool breeze from the fields.
But we have to go to bed. Magdalena.
She's asleep.
Magdalena,
Leave me alone.
go to bed.
You don't give anyone a moment's peace.
Good night.
And you too, off to bed too.
Why isn't Angustias' fiancé coming tonight?
He went on a trip.
Ah.
Good night.
Oh, you're still here.
I'm enjoying the quiet and unable to see something very wrong that is going on here, according to you.
Bernarda, let's not go any further with this.
In this house, there's one way of doing things. My watchfulness takes care of everything.
Nothing is going on outwardly, that's true. But your daughters, they live as if they were locked up in a cupboard. Neither you or anyone else can see in their hearts.
My daughters' hearts beat calmly enough.
That's your business. You're their mother. I have enough to do looking after your house.
Yes, now you've turned quiet.
I keep my place, that's all.
Your problem is you have nothing to say. If there were weeds growing in this house, you'd make sure all the sheep in the neighborhood came here to graze.
I hide more than you think.
Do your sons still see Pepe here at 4 in the morning? Do they still spread the same malicious gossip about this house?
They say nothing.
Because there's nothing they can say. No meat to sink their teeth into, thanks to my vigilance.
Bernarda, I don't want to talk about this because I'm afraid of what you will do, but don't be too sure.
Oh, but I am very sure.
Lightning could strike, a rush of blood could suddenly stop your heart.
Nothing will happen here. I am on guard now against all your suspicions.
All the better for you.
Exactly.
I have just finished the dishes. Is there anything else, Bernarda?
Nothing. I'm going to go take some rest.
What time do you want me to wake you?
Don't. I intend to sleep soundly tonight.
When you're powerless against the sea, it's better to turn your back on it so you don't see it.
She's so proud. She puts a blindfold on herself.
Well, there's nothing I can do. I tried to put a stop to this, but now it frightens me too much. Feel the silence? In every room, a storm is brewing. And the day it breaks, it'll sweep us all away. I said what I had to say.
Bernarda thinks nothing can stand against her. She doesn't know the power of a man among women alone.
It's not all Pepe El Romano's fault. It's true, last year he chased after Adela and she was crazy about him. But Adela, she should have kept her place and not led him on. A man is a man.
Some say he has talked to Adela many nights.
It's true, and that's not all.
Bernarda is rushing the wedding. Maybe nothing will happen.
No, things have gone too far already. Adela's made up her mind whatever happens, and the others constantly keep watch.
Martirio too?
Oh, that one's the worst. She's a pool of poison. She knows she can't get El Romano herself, and she'd drown the whole world if it was in her power.
They are bad.
They're women without men, that's all. In matters like this, you even forget your own blood. Shh.
What is it?
The dogs are barking.
Someone must have passed by the front door.
Adela, didn't you go to bed?
I'm getting a drink of water.
I thought you were asleep.
I got thirsty. What about you? Don't you ever rest?
Soon now.
Let's go.
We have earned some sleep. Bernarda doesn't let me rest the whole day.
Take the lamp.
The dogs are going mad.
Yeah, they're not gonna let us sleep.
Little lamb, child of mine, let's go to the shores of the sea. The little ant is at his door. I'll give you my breast and bread. Bernarda, face of a leopard, Magdalena of a hyena. Oh, little lamb, Papa. Let's go to the palms at Bethlehem's gate, where you and I won't sleep. And the beach will be all day. We'll hide in a hut of coral reef. Bernarda, face of a leopard, Magdalena of a hyena. Oh, little lamb, Baba. Let's go to the palms at Bethlehem's gate. Let's go.
Adela! Oh, grandmother, where are you going?
Oh, have you come to open the door for me? Who are you?
How did you get out here?
Oh, I escaped. Which one are you?
Get back to bed.
Oh, now I see. Martirio, face of a martyr. When are you going to have a baby? I just had this one.
Where did you get that lamb?
I know it's a lamb. So what? Why can't a lamb be a baby? It's better to have a lamb than to have nothing. Bernarda, face of a leopard. Magdalena, of a hyena.
Shout!
Yes, it's dark everywhere. And you think because I have white hair, I cannot have babies? Babies and babies and babies? I had this baby with white hair. We'll have another baby with white hair. Every baby with white hair like snow. And then we'll be like waves, one after another. And then we'll all sit together with our white heads and we'll be the foam of the sea. Why isn't there any foam here? Nothing but mourning shawls. Shh. When my neighbor had a baby, I took her some chocolate. And later she brought me some. Always and always and always. But when you have white hair, your neighbors won't come. I have to leave now. But I'm afraid the dogs will bite me. Will you come to the fields with me? I don't like fields. I like houses. Open houses where women are stretched on their beds with their children and the men sit outside on their chairs. Pepe el Romano is a giant. Every one of you loves him. He will devour all of you like your grains of wheat. No, you're not grains of wheat. You're frogs without tongues.
Go to bed.
Yes, but later you'll come and open the door for me, won't you?
Of course.
Oh, little child of mine, let's go to the shores of the sea. The little land is at his door. I'll give you my breast and bread. Bernarda, let me go.
Adela! Adela!
Why are you looking for me?
Stay away from that man.
Who are you to tell me?
That's no place for a decent woman.
How you would love to take my place.
This can't go on.
This is just the beginning. I have the strength to do it, and the spirit, and the looks, which you don't have. I saw death under this roof, and I went out to look for what is mine, for what belongs to me.
That soulless man came here for another woman. You put yourself in between them.
He came for the money, but his eyes were always on me.
I won't let you steal him. He will marry Angustias.
You know he doesn't love her.
I know.
You know because you've seen. He loves me. Me.
Yes.
He loves me. He loves me.
Stick me with a knife if you want. Just don't say that again.
That's why you're trying to stop me from going away with him. It makes no difference to you if he's putting his arms around a woman he does not love. I don't care either. He could spend 100 years with Angustias. But if he's holding me, caressing me, you can't stand it because you're in love with him too. You love him.
Yes. Let me say it without shame. My heart is bursting with envy. I love him.
Martirio, it's not my fault.
Don't touch me. My blood isn't yours anymore. No matter how much I want to see you as my sister, I can only see you as a rival.
Then there's no way out. Whoever has to drown will drown. Pepe el Romano is mine. He will carry me away to the reeds by the sea.
You will not.
I can't stand the horror of being under this roof any longer. Not after tasting his mouth. I will be what he wants me to be. All the villages against me, burning me with their pointing fingers, persecuted by those who call themselves decent people. And I will put on, in front of them all, the crown of thorns that belongs to the mistress of a married man.
Be quiet!
Yes, we let him marry Angustias. It makes no difference to me. But I'll move to a little house by myself, where he'll come and see me whenever he wants, whenever he desires me.
Not while there's a drop of blood in my body.
You can't stop me. You're weak. I could bring a wild stallion to its knees with the strength of my little finger.
Don't you raise your voice at me. I can't stand it. My heart is full of a force so vicious, I can feel it drowning me.
They teach us to love our sisters. God must have abandoned me in this darkness, because I see you now as if I'd never seen you anywhere before.
Where are you going?
Move away from the door.
Get by me if you can.
Get away. Ah!
Mother! Mother!
Leave me alone.
Stop this! Oh, how I wish I could make lightning strike.
She was with him. Look at her. She's covered with straw.
Oh, the bed of a whore!
Your ends my imprisonment. This is what I do to the warden's rod. Do not take another step. No one gives me orders here except Pepe.
Adela!
Angustius, I belong to him. He will be the master of this house. Accept it. Go out in the yard and tell him. He's out there now panting like a lion.
My God!
The gun. Where is my gun?
No one can hold me back.
You're not leaving here to triumph with your body. You thief! You shame our house.
Let her go, where we never have to see her again.
Try looking for him now.
That does away with Pepe el Romano.
Oh, Pepe, no.
Did you kill him?
No, he galloped away on his mare.
It was my fault. A woman can't aim.
Then why did you say?
For her! I'd like to pour a river of blood over her.
Curse you.
You devil!
It's better this way. Adela! Adela?
Open the door, Adela.
Open the door! The walls will not hide your shame. Adela!
All the neighbors are up.
Open the door or I'll break it down. Adela! What is it?
Maybe never die a death like that.
Faye, you run alive in the darkness under the poplar trees. But one day, you'll fall. Cut her down. Carry her to her room and dress her in white. No one is to say anything. Send word to toll the bells twice at dawn. Death must be looked at face to face. Silence, be still, I said. Tears are when we are alone. We'll all drown in a sea of mourning. The youngest daughter of Bernarda Alba has died a virgin. Did you hear me? Silence, I said. Silence.
Thank you. Wonderful performance. Congratulations to all of you. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Farley Richmond, our director.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and watching our show. And I'm very pleased with the performers and the technicians and the organizers of the show, and look forward to answering questions.
Yeah. Hi. So we'll open this up for Q&A. If anyone on Zoom would like to raise their hand, I can unmute you so that you can ask your question. You can ask your question on the Zoom chat, on the Q&A, or post on YouTube, and I can read out the question for you. Yeah, we have Tanmoy. I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, Tanmoy.
Well, very little to say. Thank you to Debjani for inviting me. This is, of course, a famous play, very well executed, not only in terms of everybody's performance, but I've seen a lot of Zoom shows, different kind of performances. It's not easy, the way you guys pulled it off. I was a little nervous in the beginning when those files started showing, but then you guys carried it so well. Wonderfully done. Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is Jaya. I have unmuted Jaya. You can ask your question.
Yeah, congratulations. I thought it was really amazing performance. All the actors, you were awesome. A really great job. And to pull this off in a Zoom format is really awesome. I just wanted to know, what were some of the challenges putting together this production for Dr. Farley and for the actors? I'm sure it must be a really great challenge. I also wanted to comment on the backdrops. Really amazing, so well coordinated. But I'm sure there's some unique challenges that you had. What were some of those challenges for the Zoom format?
Well, I'll just say a word or two. We debated whether we were going to set the play in India or not. And that came about because there seemed to be so much in the play that seems like it's appropriate for an Indian village. And then ultimately chose to focus on Spain and the Spanish environment, and put it into a kind of nether world. Everybody helped to put this together, obviously, and because we didn't have a rehearsal in which we were all in one room. We were all always online. So the challenge is how to rehearse a play and then ultimately how to produce it when you're not in the same space. So this was a great challenge for all of us, I think. Others may want to chime in.
Any of you actors would like to say something about the challenges? Okay, well, one of the challenges that we did experience was the music. We had not done this before, and to add it and for it to come on at the right time, the sound cues and all. But I think it went off quite well, except for a couple of glitches in the beginning, but otherwise it went off quite well. Thank you to the crew for this.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a question on the Q&A side by Rajiv Shrivastava, and on chat also there's a similar question by Joel, like how long were the rehearsals, how long did they work for, and what was the rehearsal process like?
Dr. Farley?
Oh, okay. Please chime in if any of you actors have a view. I'm sure you do. We started out by having this as one of the readings that we had of the many plays that we've read. I have done nearly 13 or 14 of the plays that we've read in the last 3 months. And this play was among the readings. And so after finishing with the reading, Barca and I discussed the possibility of doing it as a full-scale production. and decided ultimately that we would do that and that we would have an audition. And that's what we did. And we're very happy that we cast who we did, and we're happy with their execution. Basically, the rehearsals were like many rehearsals. They have to be arranged according to the schedules of the artists. So those of you who had different kind of obligations during the day and the evening can tell us what that meant. Because we're in the coronavirus stage where many of us have to stay inside. What was it like, you all?
I think I think the actors share a similar sentiment that it gave us a respite. You know, it was a break from the anxiety. Coming together, you were looking forward to something in the evening, staying away from news channels, rehearsing your lines. And you know, what an amazing team, Dr. Farley, Barkha, who worked relentlessly, just figuring out, because we're actors and many of us who are used to stage, our voice goes out, we're projecting, and now the camera is right on our face. So in terms of tweaking, I would say personally, and I think some actors who've shared the stage before share that, you know, now we're on Zoom, right? Every bit we're, you know, the voice control, the angles of our face, and that was something that we worked on. We tweaked so that it comes across on the screen, you know, as powerful, just as it was on if it were on stage. So, but overall, a fantastic experience, and the team is just what keeps us going.
Yeah, there is a request on chat by a couple of people saying, can the actors put their names so they know who is who?
Oh.
So if you guys want to rename yourself.
We don't rename till Barkha tells us to.
Okay, go ahead, rename.
So I think we'll keep the characters and our names add to it. So that'll be helpful.
Sanjay, can you rename me as Meera? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And also, I would like to add that, you know, these were the ladies who actually did the reading. Only one got switched, but they are all the ones that did the original reading, and they read so well. That's why we thought that why not take it to the next step. Right. So congratulations, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there is a question, were the rehearsals virtual or in person?
Oh gosh, no. No. At ICS Theatre and ICS, we are careful not to break rules. All virtual.
I mean, if we did in person, you would see masks. So.
And then we would have problems.
That would be a problem.
There are some other people, Sanjay, that have raised their
hand. There are more people. There is Preeti Bhagya. I've unmuted you. You can ask your question.
Hi. First of all, congratulations to everyone. That was like a brilliant play. So it is. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So it is very challenging to kind of pull off an audience for a long time. So my question to you is that were there any special points in your head while you were deciding to continue a play for a longer duration? Points as in for screenplay or maybe the theme of the play? Because I actually did not see the time at all. I was so engrossed. So were there any points in your mind before?
Yes. Yes. Barkha, you might want to say something about that.
Well, we didn't know how it would go, to be honest. We were like, will we be able to hold the audience? But we still kept trudging along and said, no, it's a good play. We will do it. And if we don't try it, how will we ever know whether we can? And I can tell you, in the last 4 days, it was obvious that whoever signs in will stay signed on. You know, they were doing an awesome job, and so we were confident that you guys would stay, and you're here, all of you.
Yeah, congratulations. You guys really pulled it off. It was a great play.
Thank you.
Yep. Jayu has a question. Jayu, I've unmuted you. You can ask your question. Jayu? Okay, I'll move to the next person. Ravi Varma. Okay, Ravi, you can ask your question.
Hello, I am actually using my father's account. I really loved the casting. I felt like everybody portrayed the personalities of the characters really well. And I noticed something. So in like regular in-person plays, you use lighting and other visual audio cues to, set the mood and set the tone and, whatever's going on. I noticed that you in a play, you used subtle things, for example, to show blood and stuff. You covered the camera with the thumb, and then saying that I forget who, but the character that said that, oh, nobody should have this kind of death, had their hands around their neck, like these subtle things. I thought that was really cool. But I wanted to ask, how did you come up with these little details to, make us know what's going on?
Well, the blood red was sheer coincidence. Somebody just blocked the camera and we figured out it went red. And that's where the blood red came up. So that was good. And yeah, the other things, it is hard. As we went along, we figured it out. But thanks to the big ways like Dr. Farley and Barkha, they were constantly thinking about new ways, constantly. I mean, we rehearsed maybe 2 hours, but I know they were thinking 24 hours a day as to what can be done. And kudos to them, really. It's just because of them that this came out the way it did.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dr. Farley, were you saying something?
No. I was saying blood red.
Actually, the first blackout was, we were trying to figure out how to get everybody off, and Dr. Farley kind of suggested. The second one, we were trying to do it the same way, but somebody didn't put the finger properly and it showed red. So we said, okay, then nobody's going to cover it properly. And the second blackout was a red out.
Right. And it fit the occasion for the... So it was accidental. Sometimes you have to find things that will work, and this seemed to be appropriate.
Well, it worked out well. It was perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sanjay, you have...
Yep, there are more people. Amrita, I've unmuted you. You can ask a question.
Hi, everyone. It was lovely watching this play. I've been watching it ever since it began, and then there was a call in between, so I had to go off, and I really wanted to come back in again. So, but then it was wonderfully acted, wonderfully, all of you. 2 questions. I just wanted to know, how is it that you got a similar background for all of you? It was really nice. And the second thing is that, is it more challenging to perform in front of a live audience, or is it more challenging to do it this way?
Amrita, we can't share our background story. But I'll let Dr. answer, sorry.
Dr. Farley, why don't you tell them about the backgrounds?
Yes, well, we toyed with whether we should use real, like the interiors of Spanish style homes. And there were some suggestions along that line, and we looked at them. And then suddenly looking at a kind of general background for everyone in the particular scene, like that exists right now with these actors, where they're in their 3rd act. So, but they can change it and go to a little different background. Could one of you some changes and show everybody how you can do it? This will give us an idea. So here we are. And
if I can answer the second part of your question, Amrita, it is challenging to do a stage play without audience, because the actors feed off of the energy of the audience in a live stage play, and now it's imaginary. So doing a stage play, kind of like a film, but as a stage play, that was the biggest challenge we had, but you just imagine it like you do in film.
Yeah, and also there are so many technical things involved in a Zoom play, so that was more challenging for me, I thought.
I can understand. Yeah, it was great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's Manoj Shane. I have unmuted you. You can.
Is
Manoj?
Manoj on?
He's muted.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I saw this whole thing on YouTube, actually, on my big screen TV. I was hiding from Seema. So I'm very partial, obviously. So, Seema did a great job, but I wanted to make few comments. Dr. Farley Richmond, you had done a great job with everyone here, because I kept on looking at this virtual play, and everyone's Zoom etiquettes in terms of acting and looking into the camera and doing the lines it's terrific. Just kudos to have those many people on Zoom acting well at the same time. So hats off to Barkha and Dr. Richmond and all the women, girls. So congratulations.
Girls
Thank
is
you.
better.
Thank you.
Girls feels good.
Girls is better. We have a question from YouTube from Ananya Gupta. Her question and request. I'd love acknowledgement for the role of the quiet young chap towards the center square, which I believe is William. I don't think we got to see him on stage. He's our sound person. And William, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I was just doing the sound cues in the back. That's what you heard. And hope you enjoyed.
And he's not Pepe El Romano.
He wasn't just
Good one.
just the sound cues. I mean, it was the sound cues. So thank you.
So important.
Mary raised your hand. You can ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, my name is Mary Jo Duffy, and I'm a friend of Pallavi's. And I just wanted to jump on and congratulate all of you and tell you how much I enjoyed watching you. And specifically, I just thought that I really felt those relationships across the Zoom. I felt that you were a company and that you really knew each other. And it was very moving and very exciting. And to piggyback on Mira's point with the audience and you all not feeling it, your audience was so with you. And I just was sorry that we couldn't all clap and applaud really so that you could all feel just the joy that you brought on this beautiful Sunday. So thank you. And I just wanted to jump on and say that.
Thank you.
All of you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There is a question from Rajiv Srivastava. Rajiv?
I was in the meeting and I was watching from the TV, and my mom was in the play. She was the junior in the play. I just wanted to ask a question. Like my mom in the beginning, she did a laugh, and then like so many other people did scolding. How would you be able to do that if you're not actually scolding someone?
So cute.
Because we rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, and then we get scolded when we do it wrong. So you see, that's what we get better at. That's how.
Okay.
So did you like your mom's acting?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's all.
Great.
That's
So cute.
Thank you. And I have to thank Dr. Farley and Barkha for scolding me in different ways, not giving up on me. And this is my first time doing this act ever, any acting ever. So I would say that I'm a millennial kid in theater way because I'm directly doing it on Zoom. No theater experience as such, but then I loved it, and thank you so much. And thanks to my family who ate dinner, whatever I made, and cooperated with me. So I'm so happy, and I'm thankful to everybody and my kids and family especially.
Who said I wasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like 2:30, 2:20.
Rustam Bhopti has a question.
Like 6, 4, 5.
Is Manoj unmuted? Sanjay, can you mute?
Yeah.
You're not on mute.
And who did you unmute?
Rustam.
Rustam, yep.
Rustam, are you there? Okay.
I see a question on Zoom chat. I don't know if he already answered
Yeah,
this. This is
from
from
Lata,
Lata.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Lata. Like how many rehearsals before the Zoom performance? Curious how much longer it takes versus a stage performance. So how many rehearsals we
Good
have
question.
for the Zoom? And
Good
I don't know.
Well,
I don't have answer.
it took quite a few rehearsals, but a little less than what it would have taken on stage.
I'm on it.
Dr.
It's not
Farley,
coming up.
why don't you go ahead with the answer on that? Dr. Farley?
Oh, yes. Okay. Rehearsals. After we decided to do the show, then we had to organize a rehearsal schedule. And normally, a rehearsal of a play of this length, it would take about 32 days to rehearse it. But under the circumstances, since we often had only 3 rehearsals a week, then we had to extend the rehearsal period so that we could get as many days in before we actually performed. So, and that then changed the way the rehearsals proceeded, because they were often a rehearsal like on maybe a Monday, a Wednesday, Friday, something like that schedule. And so what we tried to do was get as much rehearsal in as possible. And sometimes you can rehearse individually with people who are not in a scene, or you can rehearse rehearse them in a kind of,
Yeah, Lata Kumar is my friend from Virginia, and she follows wherever I perform. New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, you name it. She'll take any transportation to come and watch it. Thank you, Lata.
Yep. I'm going to unmute UC Maz North America. You can ask your question.
This is Nitin from Savitri Theatre in Canada. Barka, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for coming, Nitin.
I don't think I have anything new to say. Everyone has said what they had to say. But since I take care mostly of the technical parts of my theatre company, I thought that Black on Black was a brilliant idea. I wouldn't have ventured into it knowingly, honestly. But whoever's on the technical crew or whoever thought of this, Black on Black came out amazing. Plus, I understand all the challenges you guys are facing, but you guys did an amazing job. I know you've heard it like 10 million times today, but even if I have to say it once more, I will. Amazing job, guys. Keep it up. And
Thank
Barka, please keep inviting us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There's a question on Zoom chat from Samata. Do you face Wi-Fi problems? Burka, I'll let you take this. She's faced most challenges from everyone.
Sanjay, I'll let you answer that. You've helped us out with that.
Yeah. I mean, you can just hope and pray. But, but yeah, like you've got to work around the limitations or the challenges that you have. So you prepare. We actually have a slide.
Yes.
Luckily, didn't have to share. Like, we are facing technical difficulties in case I had to. But so you prepare for that. You could have that, but outside of that, nothing special.
And I want to add one more thing. I won't mind listening to the fabulous job done.
Keep it coming, huh?
Yeah, keep it coming. Thank you.
There is a question from Ravina. Ravina, I've unmuted you.
Ravina?
I guess she's not there. Okay. Tanmay has a question again.
So since this is a Q&A and I disappointed everybody in the beginning by not even asking a question, just kind of letting out my praise, I thought I'll come back with a question. Dr. Richmond, you let us in the fact that you were first contemplating doing this in an Indian village background, but later on put it in a Spanish setting. I'm curious if whatever you left behind, the traces of a Indian village, I noticed it. Did anybody else notice it? A little trace of the Indian village? I think Debjani is nodding, so I'll let her answer.
Yeah, I think the milieu is very similar, Spanish and Indian, the emotions. And romanticism of Lorca, poetry of Lorca translates very well to the Indian landscape. And if you've seen our Rakt Fera, we've done Blood Wedding in English, in Hindi, transposed it to Rajasthan. And here we just didn't have the time, and Dr. Farley decided that we could keep it in Spain, and yet, come to you where you could relate to something that being from India, the background. So if you saw a similarity, it's inherent in the play.
I saw it somewhere else. So in the chant, the tune was certainly not Spanish. And that's where I picked it up.
That could be my fault as an actor.
It's not a fault, but I thought it was very innately Indian, the chant.
All right.
We have a question on...
We had to put an Indian flavor to it. We couldn't help it.
We have a question from YouTube from Ananya Gupta. Bernarda, what was the secret for that natural performance? Real answer, please. Otherwise, we will need to request for your children to vouch for it on the side.
Oh, my children will say, oh, the stick comes to her naturally, the gun, the stick. No, I think it's, I don't know. I mean, you read the script, you work under, character. We do go through a lot of character analysis, the posture, the gait, everything together. And when it comes together, we're just lucky, I guess. But if you enjoyed it, that's the best compliment for an actor. So thank you.
Yeah, Samantha, I have unmuted you. You can ask a question. Samantha? Okay. Ashish Verma has a question. Ashish, you can speak.
All right. Hey, Sanjay, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. This actually gives me a lot of privilege and excitement to see this performance happen this way. And I'm involved with ICS executive group myself, so it gives me a firsthand idea of what technical challenges you might have been facing. So absolutely big kudos to you guys, how you have been able to pull this together, especially between the scenes. For example, when one window to the other window, when people were trying to show their involvement happening. That was, I think, the most challenging portion that might have been different from a stage actual in-person performance compared to then online. Because the rest you have to practice anyway, like script you have to practice anyway, delivery you have to practice anyway, but how you show interaction among people and then convey it so that as much as possible it goes smoothly to the audience. Kudos. I mean, for example, one person beating the other person and it looked like real or as close to real as possible. Yeah, there was a lot of thinking that went through here. And Dr. Richmond, awesome. We have seen you excel so many times along with this group. You've done it again. Thank you. And I would say more kudos to the group here because you are excellent already, Dr. Richmond. The team, standing from ground up, and including, I would say, proud of my own sister over here, Indu, my elder sister. Never in the life. And this is what the ICS Theatre brings as value to the community. I'm very proud of that. And especially other people like Seema. My God, Seema, you were amazing over there. Yeah. Debjani, there was the role you had to play there. It was it was a pretty strict one, right? You had to be that strict, and you played very well. And the emotion, the complexity of it had to convey, and the brutality and all the complex natures to that, you conveyed very well. And I wouldn't really take more time by going individually to each people, but hey, amazing. So again, very, very proud to be part of ICS myself and ICS Theatre. And great job, Barkaji and the team, and Sanjay. Technical part, good luck all the time. As you said, yourself said, right? You could pray, right? A lot of times. But hey, again, good job. Let me wrap up my conversation here. But amazing work, just amazing. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Murtaza has a question. Murtaza?
Yeah, hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, you know what? I think nobody's done this. I deserve a round of applause. I definitely
Murtaza, we can't hear you.
hear this. I cannot stress enough. I echo everyone's comments. It was a fantastic performance, great casting. Dr. Farley, I mean, enough cannot be said about the entire direction. Barka, great production again. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I can understand and appreciate the challenges. The last production was around 20-25 minutes. Pulling this off for an hour and a half with that seamless choreography, the syncing, and the space that was created between the camera, the backdrop, and all the movements, and how real it seemed. I'm blown away with how well this was done. Great job, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Farley, I do have a question for Dr. Farley, though. How interesting was it to work with, let me count, 11 women?
Yeah.
Well, Barka, you as well.
Well, it's a challenge. I would have actually, I've often said that I think some plays should be directed by the person whose sex the characters are. And so I would have actually, if I were a organizer of productions, I would say, turn this over to a female director. But Barka came along and provided a tremendous experience because she's been working with these things so long. Her experience with working with the actors has just been phenomenal. And so actually it has been a kind of joint experience between the two of us working on this. I tend to focus more on physicality with things that happen, and I think she worked more with the interpretation of the characters. And we both agreed on what direction we wanted the thing to go in. So yeah, that's basically an approach that doesn't always work, but in this case, I think it worked rather well. And thank you.
Entry and exit of characters managed, and I know. Entry and
Samantha?
exit of characters managed.
I think Samantha's question is how entry and exit of characters was managed.
Finger on the mouse.
Finger on the mouse.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
scolding.
we became technically expert too doing this play.
This word keeps popping up quite often, right? Scolding.
Scolding.
Technically expert.
It's rehearsal. If you're talking about the actual physicality, yes, we had to kind of get them out of the camera and try their best not to be seen. And whereas in the play itself, it was like we had to decide how many we wanted on screen. At what point, that was Dr. Farley's decision. So it was a combination of both.
Barka, there's a question
Yes.
for you from Naren.
Naren.
What's next? Now that the bar has been set, will I be getting any dinner?
Oh, he hasn't had dinner. Lunch is coming up. So, thank you.
There is Ravina Malani is raising her hand again.
Can you hear me, Sanjay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just want to say this was just amazing. Saw some wonderful performances. Congratulations to all of you for such a fantastic job. I'm sure it must have been really challenging rehearsing during these COVID times, but I feel your efforts really paid off. And last but not the least, Mona, my friend, your debut in acting was great. All the best. All the best.
Thank you, Ravina. Thanks.
Okay, I think.
Okay, there's a question from Sangamitra Badri. Sangamitra, you can speak. Okay, there is Rustam Popti. You can
Yes.
ask the question.
Hello, I'm Namanaita Mantri's uncle speaking. I really wondered, I was really thinking, how would you be all of you performing on the Zoom, transitioning on a little screen? But you guys did a wonderful job. And my question is, but my curiosity is, what will be the regular theatrical performances scratching their heads saying, what is this Zooming business? What will happen to our business now? So get ready for that bombardment. All the best to you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We have one question from Samatha. What is your next play?
We advertise soon. Follow us, Devjani. Follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, all our plays, our auditions, our play readings, our workshops with directors are put on our Facebook well in advance for all of you to enroll, participate. You can the Facebook page is easy to find. It is ICS Theatre with TRE, not TER. So look us up, start following. We put everything there in advance because it's a community theater. We want people to participate, especially around these times across state boundaries, because just in this cast, we have people outside of New Jersey joining us. So yeah, the opportunities are endless.
Thank you. So are we good?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're good.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Sanjay, sorry, 1 second. Sangamitra could not, right? She's joining from Portugal.
Okay, Sangamitra.
But that's fine.
No, you can
hold on,
talk,
let's see.
Sangamitra. You can ask your question.
That's fine.
Okay, she's put a comment in. I would like to congratulate the entire team. What I liked most about was the wonderful synchronization and the seamlessness between the scenes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Farley. Thank you, Barkha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, family.
Everybody who watched
Thank
it
you,
and
everyone.
appreciated it. Thank you so much.
Somebody asked me a question on my phone. If there is a replay available, they missed some bits and pieces and they wanted to see if there is a recording somewhere they can see.
Yeah, we're going to have fundraiser performances all over the world.
YouTube right now, but we
right
can.
now.
Yeah, right now. Like we'll keep it for a little while, Barkha, right? I mean,
right.
not
for a little while.
forever.
So
okay.
whoever's missed it, we will be taking
I'll tell them.
Because we have to go around the world, right, Meera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mira has decided that.
Let's
Thank
pack
you,
our bags.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for
Have a
watching.
nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you at the cast party.
Yes, the cast party. Right.
Yes.
Take care, everyone. Loved your performance.
Thank
you.
Love you guys.